Hey guys, today I want to show you how you can profit from two weapon traits at the same time on skills that have a duration. There's no exploit or hack involved and it's not bugged as far as I know. I'm sure everyone has gained or lost damage on this mechanic before without even knowing. So I tested a lot and dig deep into the math of the game, but don't worry, I'll keep this video as short as possible and only explain mechanics that are essential to pull off this trick. Testing was done with no sets, passive or CP. Just to give you a quick rundown, this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. I'll start with a short introduction on how skills scale from your attributes so you can understand how it works. Then I'm moving on to traits and how you should set them up to benefit of them two at the same time. At the end I'll show a few setups for stamina, magic ADD and healers that I think will work out the best. So let's get started. As you probably know, your skills scale from various factors which are weapon spell power, crit and armor or spell penetration, and many more. Many of these are given by sets, champion points or passives. However, in combat these values will change because of buffs, set procs or weapon swap. If you cast an instant ability, all of them are calculated together at their current number, but how is it on skills with a duration? Well, to make it easier to understand, I split them into static and dynamic factors. Static factors will stay the same throughout the entire duration of your skill. These are, for example, your weapon and spell power and your armor or spell penetration. So let's say, for example, you get a buff to your spell power by proccing more Lakina, which is up for 6 seconds. If you cast, for example, Burning Embers in these 6 seconds, the skill will be buffed for its entire duration, even when your Kina ran out before the skill. On the other hand, if you proc Kina after you use the Embers, it will not be buffed at all, not even for 6 seconds. But most values are calculated dynamically, meaning that all your skills will use the current value. Taking Aggressive Warren as an example, it increases your crit damage by 30% for 10 seconds and all your skills will profit from it in this time no matter when you casted them. The downside is you will lose it on all your skills after it ran out, no matter when you use them. Moving on to traits. I will only talk about traits that directly affect your skills. So as you know, these traits change some of the factors I just talked about before, but only as long as you have them active on your bar. However, some of these traits are also static, meaning that they will still buff the abilities with duration even when you switch bar after the cast. That means you will profit from both traits at the same time if you have a static trait on your back bar and a dynamic one on your front bar. Sharpen is at the moment the best trait for damage and it's static. No decreases both your weapon and spell power and therefore it is a static trait with one exception. On ground target AoEs like Endless Hail or Liquid Lightning it acts dynamically. Powered is a nice trait for healers and it's dynamic, so for example if I cast Vigor on my back bar with a static trait and switch to my main bar with a powered weapon, it will get fully buffed by both traits. Precise, so this is a hard one. After a lot of testing I'm 99% sure that it is dynamic, but it can't be proved because crits are still random. So let's finish with the best setups. Stem DDs will profit the most from Sharpen on their back bar and at least one Precise on main bar. Try to put all AoE dolls like Endless Hail, Caltrops or Hurricane on your back bar to get them fully buffed by both traits. On a typical dual wield and bow setup you will keep the penetration from Sharpen and also gain a lot from the higher weapon damage on dual wield. Plus the 7% crit on full Precise, which is an insane buff. Magic ADDs is a little different depending on how good your group is. Since you're wearing light armor you get 5k penetration from passives. A typical trial boss has 18k resistance, so if you're good as group with debuffing the boss you might be on 0 already and you wouldn't profit from Sharpened at all. So in a good group I would go full Nern or Sharpened for solo or bad groups. For main bar I would definitely stick with Precise. So for healers there are a lot of viable setups and I know it's not that important to get another 100 spell damage, but if you want to get the most out of this mechanic, use Nern on back bar and charged on main bar. Your healing over time will carry over the higher spell damage from your off bar and also take the full buff from powered on your main bar. That's it for today guys. I know this is pretty confusing but I hope this helps some of you. If you have questions don't hesitate to ask, and if you liked the video make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.